Hi, Brian here, and welcome to Tripod Academy. I make videos on business, advertising, and marketing, and I run a podcast. If you're new, welcome. I'd love for you to join the community by hitting the subscribe button below. Today, I'm going to show you how I craft a knockout keyword strategy. And at the end of the video, I'll share with you what you should do when you get punched in the mouth, figuratively speaking. How should you react or adapt your keyword strategy to what's happening in the real world? First of all, you should take a step back and look at your business at a broader level. Say if you're a contractor, you probably have multiple services that you can offer. Say, painting, drywalling, putting up a finished basement, infill housing. And just like any other business, you probably have your big money makers. So these are your knockout punches. You should take a step back and think about whether or not you want to continue winning with your knockout punch, or do you want to focus and win by developing your other skills? Let's say your jab or your hooks. Now, there are inherent risks to both of these, and the one of expanding into new services is more intuitive and easier to grasp. Obviously, when you go into something new, there's going to be risk of doing a whole lot but not getting anything in return. But did you know that there's a risk in actually just doing the same thing over and over again? So staying focused on what you're good at. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but you should recognize that you're doing it at the expense of future growth. But how does this apply to your keyword strategy? Well, actually, you can create a keyword list based on all the different services, create campaigns behind each of those keyword lists, and apply a separate budget line to them because budget is controlled at the campaign level. Okay, let's take drywalling for an example. What are the type of people who are going to be hiring you to do drywalling? They could be developers, they could be people trying to put up a new room or some kind of other remodeling projects that they're interested in doing. So let's go into the search engine and see what you get from searching drywalling. Whoa. Take a look at the search results. They seem to be way too general right now. But actually, if you think about it, there is a cross-section of people in this audience that may have taken on a project that is way too difficult for themselves, or they don't have the time or resources to do it by themselves. Now, how do you capture this audience? Let's take a look. Let's scroll down just a bit more. Here we go. We see two search queries here talking about, is drywalling hard? Is drywalling expensive? Now, if you consider this and develop these keywords a bit more into ad groups, you can actually speak very effectively to them by telling them, avoid the hassle or hire a professional to do it right. What do I mean by developing the keyword more? Well, you can add more keywords to your ad group by taking your initial search query and adding tangential keywords to it. Things like taking is drywalling hard and developing it into how difficult is drywalling, or taking is drywalling expensive and developing it into how expensive is drywalling. And there are also kind of keywords relating to it on the periphery, such as what materials to buy when drywalling, or how to measure materials for drywalling. You can develop the keywords even more by moving up and down the funnel. When you're moving up the funnel, you're going to lower your intent and move higher up, meaning think going broader, going more generic. And in this case, you can add keywords such as how-to videos for drywalling or how to drywall. These are all moving away from the conversion point and moving up the funnel. Moving down the funnel is obviously the opposite. You can add keywords such as hiring a contractor for drywalling, or best reviewed drywall contractor in my area. Both these keywords show greater intent and closer to the conversion point. Okay, let's pause here for a quick second and review the first two strategies. The first one being categorizing and organizing your keywords based on your services. what you can do here is to apply a budget line to each of the service so that you can tightly control how much money you spend on each to align it with your growth objectives based on your business. The next strategy is to take one keyword, develop it by moving up, down, sideways relative to it, so that in the end, you get groups of keywords that are kind of tightly knit together, very closely related to each other, and you can write very relevant ads speaking to those search intents and the search query. Okay, let's take a quick look at the first keyword we were talking about today, drywalling. It's a very general term, but it's not necessarily a bad idea to add it to your campaigns. What we can do is we take this one generic search term and look for others that you hadn't add to your list. And we call this in the industry mining or prospecting for keywords. It's as simple as it sounds. You take your keyword, add it to your campaign as a broad match term, and once in a while go into your search queries and your search term reports to mine and prospect for new keywords to either exclude or add to your campaigns. You can actually be a bit more creative in your design. You can use phrase match such as drywall contractor, or using broad match modified such as plus hiring, plus contractor, plus drywall. Now, with the recent change in Google, these two match types work almost exactly the same in practice. I'm not going to go into details about it here, but I'll include a link to an article that speaks very technically about it so you can learn more about the difference. So to recap, this is the third keyword strategy called mining and prospecting keywords, and this can help you find new keywords to take away or add to your campaigns. Another great strategy is to use modifiers. So think of your keyword. You can treat it like a root or a base keyword, and you can add things before it and after it, just as you would add prefixes and suffixes to a root word. So in this case, if we take general contractor, for example, we can add modifiers ahead of it like best or professional, or adding things after it like in Toronto, in Brooklyn, or you can add services like for kitchens, for condos, or add languages. So, general contractors who speak Italian, general contractors who speak Mandarin. Oh, I forgot to mention that you have to keep in mind that Google has a word count limit for your keywords, and also that the longer your keyword is, the less traffic it's going to get. There are actually a few hidden keyword strategies that I sprinkled in throughout this video and didn't talk about explicitly. Things like grouping your keywords by search intent, grouping your keywords by line of business, profitability, or grouping your keywords by locale. They're all pretty straightforward except for search intent, so I may make a new video on that because it kind of goes beyond the scope of this video. So be sure to subscribe and keep an eye out for it. I want to close off this section by leaving you with two thoughts. The first one being, always put yourself in the shoes of your audience. Think about how they're looking for you, how they're finding you on the internet. What are they typing into Google to search for your products, for your services? I think this is super important. That makes your keyword strategy all the more effective whenever you're stuck. The next thing is your keyword list is never final. You should think of your keyword list and your ad account as a hedge or a garden. You need to tend to your garden, tend to your hedge periodically, or else it becomes unruly and difficult to manage. Of course, if your hedge or your garden is managed really well and it's in tip-top shape, you can leave it for a while and it'll still be okay. But what that does is it's just going to put off and sort of pile on work for you in the future. Now, let's get to the fun part, getting punched in the mouth. Wait, no. What I mean is you launch your campaign and you get results that you weren't expecting. And the most common one is search volume too low and your ads aren't serving. A simple fix to this is to use the mining and prospecting keyword strategy to look for one or two search phrases that people are actually using to match with your keywords, and add that into the main campaign. Then you can use any one or combination of all the strategies that I shared in this video to build a new keyword list. Another way is to take particular keywords that have low search volume and aren't serving ads, and to make it more general, make it more broad. Maybe remove some modifiers, maybe to change the match type, or change your bidding strategy. All of this is so that you're opening things up and widening it so that your keyword starts matching with more search queries. Another common issue is that you're getting a warning on your keywords that your keyword quality score is too low and it's not serving. So you have to look into your search term and search query report to make sure the search queries matching with that keyword are relevant. Another thing to look into is to make sure your ads are speaking to the needs of the people who are searching and matching with that keyword. So if someone's searching for plumbing services, don't give them drywall. Oh, speaking of ads, I recently did a video on why your ads are not running even though they're eligible. I'll include the link to that video in the info card above and in the description box below. That's it for today. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Subscribe, like this video if you did, and hit the notification bell. I'll see you next time.